The Wu Xing War Compass is what I will call a selfless war machine. It doesn't ask for much aside from basic upkeep. It doesn't gobble your winds of magic. It boosts up your spellcasters. It likes to curl up by the forge and nap. But in battle, it's giving you a very strong implied message. Shut up and take my bound spells! Recruited for 900 gold and 238 upkeep, coming from tier 4 of the Astromancer and construct building chain, this single entity war machine, quote-unquote, has 6,240 health on ultra scale. It has 80 armor, which won't feel like much under concentrated elven fire. Missile resistance 15%, helping with that somewhat. Leadership 75 is suspiciously solid. Speed 30 and charge speed 40 are not terrible numbers when Jade Warriors don't move especially fast. Melee attack begins at 30. Attack interval is 4 seconds as usual, splash rocket size is a chariot-like very large, and max circus damage is hard capped at 4. Melee defense is a chariot-like 20. Weapon strength of 160 is split base 110 and armor piercing 50. This is not strong, but at least it will contribute to a fight. Charge bonus is 20 and mass is 2000. There's worse out there for trying to batter troops, like corpse cards. Because I was going to forget, it's a harmony amplifier plus 25% too, so it's worth a fourth of a Dragon Lord for increasing the buffs. Now, this is a Yang unit, which is important for triggering harmony, but it's not much of a melee unit, so I won't dwell. What's really important is that it has 2 bound spells, Celestial Lightning and Celestial Comet, based on the Lore of Heaven spells, 2 uses thereof, based loosely on the Lore of Heaven spells, 2 uses thereof, and it counts as a Mastery of the Elemental Winds unit. What this does, every applicable caster beyond the first grants plus 15% spell intensity, proportionately increasing the power of all spellcasters sharing that system, up to the maximum of plus 200% or double to all damage and all direct effects. This version of Comet Battlefield Cleaner inflicts monstrous impact for a nice little speed reduction of minus 60%, temporary but welcome. It is very important to note that Celestial Lightning has a cooldown of 42 seconds and Celestial Comet 49 seconds. That's to say, since there's never enough real spellcasters to go around, these not only give you some spells to fling around, they increase the potency of the spells of your other spellcasters, provided they're mastery spellcasters. Claw Speakers are not. In the Cathay Lord Redline skills, Stone Gaze, the skill that governs Terracotta Sentinels, at 3 pips grants armor plus 12 and weapon strength plus 12%. Remember, we're not expecting much from this in melee. Unified Charge grants rank 7 and up compass units, speed plus 10%, melee attack plus 5, and physical resistance plus 10%, just like Jade Lancers. Point being, these are excellent utility boosts, and since it's a spellcasting unit, it's going to rack up kills that way, not just through bashing. In the Cathay Tech tree, Master of Yang gives leadership plus 4, Yang Reflection gives plus 10% weapon strength when attacking only, Inner Speed grants its nice speed plus 20%. Since it's treated like a melee unit, Drill Training will give armor plus 10, leadership plus 6, and melee defense plus 4, and Jade Veteran Facility gives its usual upkeep and recruit boosts, and melee attack plus 4. The part that's specific to the War Compass is from the center of the unit side of the tech tree. Hardened Bamboo is bringing more than just resilience. When a compass is ranked 7 and up, it gets plus 2 uses of Celestial Lightning and Celestial Comet. Remember, these cooldowns track with actual spell cooldowns, not the 90 or 120 seconds of bound abilities on typical units. Having 4 per battle of both is a lot of firepower. And remember, these are bound spells. They do not cost Winds of Magic in battle. This one tech also provides armor plus 20 and physical resistance plus 20%. So, how do we use the War Compass to wipe out the battlefield clean of your enemies? I'll also point out that this is definitely usable with Miao Ying, Zhao Ming, Yuan Bo and Bhashiva, and if she can't get them normally, she can just get them through alliances. Generalizing General asks, wait, why can't I just get an Astromancer with this as a mount again? Setting aside you're basically doubling its ability to do horrible damage to your foes at rank 7 and up with that one tech. This unit is artillery of a different sort than usual. Spell artillery is a unique concept, and yet this is some of the most simple and reliable spell selections for the job possible. You aim a lightning bolt lance, attacking from straight up bypasses an immense number of problems cannons and rocket launchers have, particularly on blobs close to your foes if you do not have a high-level lore of Yin caster. Totally besides that, in terms of wins, these spells are free. I repeat, they are free. You use a slot for the unit, yes, but your regular magic is on top of this, assuming, of course, you have any. The other big use of this unit, because anything it does in pitched melee or on a charge is highly inadequate even for government work, this is a Yang unit triggering Yin battle harmony for your rear line units. You can have this bolstering forces hundreds of meters away from the front if artillery, or 150 if crossbows and crane gunners. In fact, if you want to get really brave, you can simply leave the melee infantry at home and just bring one of these to tank for your missile units for a few critical moments and trigger harmony from Iron Hail gunners and Nangao grenadiers. Do I recommend that? Goodness no! But it's possible. No, what this helps you do is create a situation where harmony can be triggered far from troops defending a choke point. Of course, you probably want at least some Yin unit triggering harmony there, but a single Jet Lion can manage that. This is allowing you to stretch the battlefield in the other direction away from the foe, which is a nice option, but isn't always viable. But we haven't talked about sieges, so let's do that. In a siege situation, being able to attack straight down is an enormous advantage. This is valuable enough on offense, but you probably brought spellcasters and have that covered somehow. This is a nice luxury. On defense, as in defending a bastion gate, if you can get opponents into choke points, you're not just running a tower defense game, you're using artillery that doesn't care about line of sight or obstruction in the path, unless it's literally overhead. Just make sure there's a direct route from sky to ground, and that's all you need. Let them pray to the ruinous powers if you have that tech and a rank 7 or up compass. And why do I keep mentioning it? Because, by definition, the mount version does not benefit from that. Of course, the mount version has an actual Astromancer on it, but there's no doubling up on Mastery of Winds or on boosting bound spells. So your spells for free are limited to the 2 of each. Now, that's nice, mind you, but that means there is a reason for the unit to exist and a justification for putting gold down on it. And rare is the player who can get as many Astromancers as he or she wants. That's the long-form answer to the question, but by all means, if you have an Astromancer and can risk the character, especially if immortal, you have an even more all-purpose outer defenses siege spellslinging. It's a little slower to get to the deeper parts inside the city on attack, but hey, faster than pushing Empire artillery any day. Take care and have fun unleashing the fury of the very heavens.